Hello everyone, it's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to give my review on the Tony Gaskins show. Like a show to me. It's called The Singles House. And after watching the first episode, to me I would call it a reality dialogue series show. That's what I would classify as that. As where you have like singles, you have men and you have women, 6 of them, various age groups from their various places and cultures, and they're given like their perspectives on relationships, you know, different things that keeps a relationship going, because the first thing that they talk about was define dating. So the first one, we have Caleb. He's 28. He's from Pensacola, Florida. Then you have Kimberly. She's 27. She's from Puerto Rico. You have MJ. He's 28. He's from the Bahamas. You have Cy Glamour. She's 33 and she lives in Austin, but she's from Alabama. You have Lex. He's 29 and he is from Tampa. I think he was born in Colorado. No, I didn't even write the whole thing. Oops, my bad. And we have Jessica, who is 36. She's from Pompano and she lives in Dallas. So as I said before, the first conversation, they had like a dinner, and they were talking about the fine dating. How do you find dating? So everybody was given their perspective. I guess they were supposed to give their perspective. That's what they were doing, giving their perspective on what dating is. And then, they had all the food there, and I was like, oh, some people were eating normal. Some people was taking their time because they were in company that they were not used to. So first thing that caught my attention was Lex. Okay, Lex curses a lot. Granted, he's not like, some people, if they say 5 words, like only 1 word out of the 5 words is a word, and then everything is a curse word. He's not like that, but he curses to a lot, to the fact that it's noticeable. Yeah, it's noticeable. I'm not saying that he shouldn't do it. You should be yourself. But if you're not used to being around somebody that curses a lot, it tends to, oh man, it's like every time he said, oh, he cursed a lot. Oh, he cursed a lot. That's what I was saying. That one thing that stood out. And to me, the person who was more vulnerable, even though he said that he didn't want to be vulnerable, was Lex. He was transparent because he says he doesn't date. And plus, Lex was the first person to get the conversation started, because it's like he was ready to go. And he was one of the ones who was more vulnerable. Caleb was transparent. He's being transparent. Don't look at how I look. I used to be this type of person. And Kimberly, she shared some stuff. Maybe some people take time. Hopefully other people are more vulnerable, because that's how we help out each other. What we have went through, and we share our experiences, and that's how we would help out another person. So maybe the other episodes, everybody else is more open, because it was Lex who was really more open than everybody else, even though he says he doesn't he doesn't like that. And like everybody else, in a sense, was like giving him advice and counsel and different things like that. Hopefully it's not like that throughout the whole show. So I'm just gonna point out different timestamps and where I want to give my review or opinion. So at the 6:56 mark, I got a lot of stuff in the beginning part. Very interesting conversation. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play that clip, or just a snippet of it, and I'll get back to my commentary. So it was around the 6 minute and 56 second mark where Cy Glamour brought up why would somebody see Kimberly, who said that she would date multiple people? Why would they see her with, I guess, with this person, and then they see her with the next person another time and assume that she is a hoe? Because Lex had said that. He was like, hey, if I see somebody with multiple people, that's what I'm going to perceive. And I'm going to come at that person. I'm going to come at that girl with, hey, you want to go to my house, and you may want to get offended, but that is what you put out there. Inside, Glamour didn't really like that, because she was like, you can't assume she, just because you see her with that person, you can't assume that's what she's doing. That could be a family member. And sometimes we do have to understand there are people watchers out there that, they like to watch people. And if they see you with multiple people, even if it's with one guy, and then they see you next time with the other guy, they're gonna think that you're she look like she a little fast, she hot in the booty or whatever. So people are going to, he's just telling you how men are going to perceive you, because maybe a woman may see her with two different men or whatever, maybe in the same month, maybe later on, and we could say, oh girl, get your bag, she's exercising her options. But men will not see it that way. That's what Lex is trying to say. That's what I got. So yeah, that conversation started around, I think, like the 4 minute up to the 6 minute and 56 second where all that conversation started. So it's not that, you're not supposed to do it, but if you want to do that, like date multiple people, you may be judged as that, as you're fast. You may be judged. And sometimes we think we want to date multiple people, we can date multiple people, but not many people can date multiple people at the same time. Sometimes, just like Caleb says, he has a sniper approach. He has so many bullets, so if he's dating somebody, he want to focus on that person and that person only.
Date it like that because I don't know, I just want that one person. But I also feel like after looking back at it, I should have dated more like a guy and not wasted my time, with one guy and thinking that, okay, we're going to be serious. And then if it doesn't end up that way, then I just, wasted all this time.
And which also brought up this other conversation where Sai was like, that's why she wants to date multiple people, because, not dating multiple people and then you spend all this time and it doesn't work out. It was a waste of time in a sense. So that's why she would rather date multiple people. But this thing, sometimes that's what we may want to do, but not many people can handle that. Sometimes you just have to know, who you are, what you're looking for in a mate. And it does not take long to figure out if the person is somebody that you can move forward with. If you're paying attention, attention to the certain signs. So if that person, first, second, third date doesn't just, is showing you signs that, hey, I don't think this is going to work for the long term, you just cut it off. Sometimes our cutoff game is not as strong. We try to make hold out hope, make excuses, or different things like that, or say, oh, maybe I'll give it another try, or maybe he was nervous or whatever. Sometimes if that's not what I'm looking for, yeah, I'll just move on. Sometimes we don't have to date multiple people because, because you're not used to doing that, you may say, oh, I'm going to date multiple people. But if you're not used to it, it might be more stressful on you. So sometimes we just have to sharpen our cutoff game. We have to sharpen our cutoff game. That's it.
Once you take it to the next level where you're intimate with that person, then you guys are, to me, as close. Because once I'm intimate with you, that's like, there's like some type of like feelings involved. We have some type of connection for me to be intimate.
And I believe in this clip, after like a few seconds, that's when they really went around the table and asked people what is dating to them. And in that clip also, where Kimberly said that when she's intimate with the person, that means, she's really in a relationship with the person because she has some type of connection. But sometimes we need to understand there are certain men and women, because there are women that do that. But a lot men though, they may sleep with you and be intimate with you and do not feel a connection with you. That's why some people, it's so easy for them to go to the streets and pick up a woman and sleep with them, because they don't need to have a connection with you to sleep with you. So sometimes we as women, many of us think that, hey, if I'm intimate with you, that means I really like you. But we also need to know there are some men that will sleep with you and don't have any connection with you and don't even think you in a relationship. Because I've been watching Kendra G's dating show. There are many women that have gone on there that have kids, and some of them have never been in a relationship. They've been intimate with people for years, and then for the person to turn around and say, hey, we were never in a relationship. So sometimes we have to put that, we have to consider those things too. So with women especially, there are some men like this too. What other things besides intimacy that person who you is a potential mate considers like a connection with you, that considers certain things that, hey, I think you can be my girlfriend, you could be my boyfriend, and eventually, move forward. So what other things besides intimacy? We have to know those things.
I just always never, because nobody can give me what I give them initially. So I've been already knew that. So that's why I'm like, dating, the shit's overrated. So I'd rather come to you real and be like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm a good time, not a long time.
So that clip was where Lex was being open and vulnerable, even though he says he doesn't want to be vulnerable. And what you heard, he says that, he doesn't date. He's never dated because no one can give him what he can give initially. So maybe this is because he gives too much too soon, or the people that he would, I guess, I don't know what you could call people that he hang out with, he's into them and maybe they're not that into him. So he gave them a lot and it wasn't reciprocated in a sense. It wasn't reciprocated, and then that changed his view of dating. That's why he says he doesn't date, even though that's what he's doing. And it's like he's coming in, hanging out, according to him. I say dating. With all those past things that happened to him, he already coming into a relationship saying, I already know you're not going to be able to give me what I'm going to give to you. So you already, in a sense, you already have a strike, according to his own words, against you without you even knowing that, because of past relationships that I don't think he's really overcome, in a sense, because sometimes we have to see if it didn't work out, we put out too much, we give too little, or we held back. We have to go back to those relationships and see, what did we do? Where did we go wrong? What signs did we miss? And sometimes what may be good for you, the person that is for you, may not be packaged in the package that that you want for now. Sometimes we're looking for this and this, certain color, certain look, certain style, but that person may not be the one for you. And then they did share that, sometimes, he wants a wife and wants kids, and then sometimes he doesn't. So he's kind of iffy, he's undecided in a sense, because he really, really haven't, I guess I would say, done the work to be prepared for marriage. I mean, for a relationship first, and then for marriage. He hasn't done the work to get that new knowledge and to better know himself, to know who he is, and then what he's looking for in somebody else.
Between a girl that's a good time and a girl that's like, okay, I can see myself being with her. Like during that phase of like y'all kicking it, having fun. What if you see that, wow, she's wifey material, I really like her? Well, is there a point where you can be vulnerable, or is it like you have it like that guarded, like?
So that was at the 30-second mark that Caleb asked Lex, how does he differentiate from a girl that's a good time to a girl that is wife material? And, he said that, she's all over him. She come and ask him different things like that. Which still not enough in a sense, because when you're looking, when you've been through certain stuff, it has not worked out in relationships before. Not only you have to understand who you are, but you have to understand the opposite sex also. You have to understand opposite sex, because he said a lot of things, I'll never disrespect women, I'll never put my hands on women. But if you don't understand certain women and you pick the wrong one, that woman can actually push your buttons in a sense, because there are women like that, and make you do things that you'd be like, what is going on? Because you didn't know, you didn't understand a woman's nature, their characteristics, who they are. And especially if you could just go in by, outward appearance. You have to look at the person's character, their morals and values, and who they are as a person, besides, all the exterior stuff. And then when we have not healed and done the work, we cannot see. So let's look at the story of Samson in Judges 14, where he went down to get a Philistine wife, which he was not supposed to get, but he liked the Philistine woman, but the Philistine woman was not for him. And the Philistines were trying to get the secret of Samson, and they used his wife, they convinced his wife to entice him so that he can tell her his secret. But she was unsuccessful in a sense, and then he really wreaked havoc on them. And then that wife was given to his best man. And after that, that's when Samson really went on a rampage. Though he had the Spirit of the Lord on him, he was not led by the Spirit of God, because there was a lot of things that he did. It was from the hurt and the pain that he lost his wife, especially to his best friend. So that's why when he got caught up with Delilah, and Delilah was, he every time she asked him a question, and then he would tell her, this is where my secret lies, and then boom, that's what the Philistines did there. But he couldn't see, because he was still in pain. He never healed from his first wife. And then eventually, what happened to Samson. Not saying that's going to happen to Lex, but this is sometimes when we, and this is for everybody, when we have been in relationships and we have not healed, we never healed to do the work and to put in the work, then we just go into other relationships. We can't see certain things we're supposed to, because love is not blind. Love's supposed to open your eyes. Love's supposed to open your eyes. It's not blind. It's supposed to open your eyes. And things we're supposed to run away from, things we're supposed to, back off, We're just blind because we're still, in a sense, we're still back in that relationship. Our true self, that helps us to see certain things, help us to feel certain things, help us to act upon certain things that we feel and see, is still back there in that relationship. And sometimes it's pieces of us, because we are in pieces of us and are in different relationships that we have never healed from. And that's what, in my opinion, and sensing from Lex, whatever relationship it was some type of relationship. And it seems that he really hasn't done the work and got healing. And sometimes when we don't do that, we miss out on what is for us. And the person that is for us, the person that is our husband and our wife, passing us by, but we can't see, because we're still in that past state that we have yet to come out of. And that past relationship that may have broken our hearts or gave us the wrong perception of the opposite sex may not have been boyfriend or girlfriend. It may have been a family relationship, a person who was taking care of us, a mentor, teacher. So not all the time the person is heartbroken from a boyfriend and a girlfriend. It could be someone of the opposite sex that, they looked up to, they admired.
Like my next relationship could be my husband and my happily forever, whatever, or it could be my third breakup. But it's like I already know who I am as a woman, what I can handle, and like I'm okay doing that. So like being vulnerable to me, I'm not scared. Like it is what it is. You're either gonna hurt me or you're gonna love me. Like.
So that mindset that Kimberly has, I really like it. I really like it, because even though you have had bad relationships that really, really hurt you to the core, but you have to love like you've never been hurt before. Like Tony Gaskins always say, you have to love like you've never been hurt before. Because that was that person. That was those other two people. That was those other 3, 5, 6, 7 people. Sometimes people be dating a lot. I don't know. But you have to move from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And you have to put in the work. You have to. And putting in the work is not listening to breakup songs. Those things only make you feel better. You feel sad, you feel devastated, you feel angry, and then you listen to some breakup songs, and then you feel better, and then you think you're healed. You're not healed. It has music has healing properties, but it is not enough to heal. You have to do the work. You have to do the work.
I'll cut it off. Yeah, because I'll feel it it'll start getting. It's just little things, like for example, I swear.
So I thought I would just put that in, because I was like, where did this guy come from? And he wasn't there before, and he's just sitting there eating at the table. But anyway, that's all I had to say on the first episode. I believe the next one is coming this week. And if you have you watched this before? Because Tony Gaskins had titles. This is way different from titles. So have you watched it before? What is your favorite part? What did you learn? What did you not know? And I'll see you in another video. Bye.